Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new video. So I thought it was time for a well overdue house tour. Now by this point you guys would know the news that we have decided to relocate yet again, and this is probably going to be the hardest move of them all since I will be very heavily pregnant. I did want to give you a house tour of this house and just have the kind of video for myself to look back on, just to show you and remind myself what we managed to do with this house in a short amount of time. I do have some before clips that I can show you of what it was like when we first got the keys to this place and what we've done since. It's not 100% finished. There is probably a lot of things that we still would have liked to have done with this house, but we've been here since October, November time now, so it's been long enough, and I think we're at a stage where it's, you know, it's comfortable, we're used to it now. So let's show you around. So right now we are in front of my stairs. Obviously we are right in front of my front door, which is actually a door that we don't use. It's normally locked all the time. I will show you the door that we do use. And let's move into the living room. So like I said, I am going to show you the before pictures or the before footage that I took of what it was like when we first moved in. It was all plaster. There was no paint on the wall. Sorry, I'm just trying to cover up that picture because it has family members in it. But essentially this is our living room. We haven't done a whole bunch to, well, I say we haven't, we actually have done a lot to this living room. The first big change that we made was, well actually no, it was the walls. We painted the walls. So this is Dulux Natural Hessian on the walls. And the floors, obviously we did end up paying someone to fit the floors because Josh realised that he's actually not very good at laminate flooring. After trying for a few hours, we just ended up paying someone else to put it in for us. But we bought the flooring from B&M, and yeah, the paint colour is Natural Hessian by Dulux. Obviously we have our huge TV on the wall. This is essentially Avery's TV. She's the only one that really gets a look in on it unless she's gone to bed. And the TV unit is new. This is actually 3 separate Besta units from IKEA. I chose to use 3 separate units in case I wanted to kind of change things around and I don't know, split them up, but I quite like the way that looks. And then in terms of how I've just kind of styled this, I've got a picture of the boys. That is their school photo from back in Cornwall. And then I just have these 2 little trays. I can't remember where I got them from now. I've had them for so long. And then over on the other side, I've just got my White Company diffuser and this big vase that I picked up on sale from the range. I think that was only £10. It was an absolute steal and I love it. Of course, a key feature in our house is always Avery's equipment. Unfortunately, the colours that they make these things in are quite garish, so they always tend to stand out, but luckily they do just slot nicely next to the sofa there. I've got 3 prints up there. The prints, I can't remember where I got them from. They were either from Temu or Shein, I think. The frames are from IKEA. Our sofa, which apart from the TV is probably the kind of focal point in this living room, is from DFS. It is new. We purchased it a few months ago. I think we had it delivered in January or February. We really love it. It's the kind of fabric that cleans up really easily. It's almost like a faux leathery suede kind of fabric. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but this seat also reclines, which is lovely. And then down here, I just wanted to pop some kind of end table. So I actually bought this one on Asda. The lamp, I can't remember. We've had that for a while. And then we just keep one of Avery's toy baskets out here with her kind of most favourite toys. And then my biggest project for this living room really was this built-in. So this was just an alcove and I feel like it was just wasted space. So you guys might remember I did vlog when I fitted this a few months ago now and I love it. And then on the other side we have this big storage cupboard, and we have actually been using this as a coat cupboard. So it wasn't a coat cupboard when we moved in, it was just a cupboard. I installed the shelves and the hooks and some more shelves down there just to kind of keep shoes and Josh's work things and whatnot. But what's odd about this cupboard is it actually has a radiator in it, which we found really strange, but actually it's super helpful, especially in the winter, because it dries the coats. If they're wet, we can pop them in there, pop the heating on, and it dries the coats nicely. So the next room on from the living room then is the kitchen. Excuse the doors, we haven't done a thing with the doors. This is just what they were like when we moved in, and they're completely unfinished. They could do with a lick of paint. But this is our kitchen. So we were really fortunate that the kitchen was basically brand new when we moved in. It still even had like the stickers all on the sides. So we had a nice fresh kitchen to work with. Now I'm not gonna lie, the kitchen itself isn't really my style. I like that the cupboards are white and it gives us a bit of a fresher canvas, but I hate the worktops. In every single house I've lived in, I've had black worktops, and I can't wait for the day that I can have like just a different colour, any other colour. But the kitchen was probably one of the easiest rooms to work around because it was basically already done. It didn't need a whole lot of decorating. The walls are a different colour. I painted the wall. I painted the walls in Timeless by Dulux. It's just like a kind of warmer off-white. I just think it warms up the kitchen a little bit and it stands out against the cupboards a little bit nicer because it was painted magnolia in here, which I think just looks quite yellow against white. And then in terms of the other things that I've done in here, you guys might remember this wall. I've done this over a few vlogs. So I added in a breakfast bar. Now, one of my challenges with a lot of areas of the house, to be honest, was that it's a small space and we needed to kind of keep as much open space as possible to be able to wheel Avery's equipment around the house. So a kitchen table wasn't an option because we need the floor space. So I tried to have a look for a breakfast bar that would fit over this radiator because there is a radiator here. And I wasn't having any luck. So in the end, I ended up buying the wood. The wood is from pipedreamsfurniture.com and it's really nice, like reclaimed, almost like scaffold board. And then the legs are from Etsy, and this is also anchored into the wall as well, just so that the kids can't kind of pull it off when they eat. But I wanted somewhere where the boys, more than anything, could eat their food. Me and Josh will sit here a lot too, but if we're having dinner kind of all at the same time, the boys will always sit at the breakfast bar. I like having somewhere for them to be able to sit and eat. And then you would have seen these quite recently as well. These shelves, again, I bought these from pipedreamsfurniture.com because they match the breakfast bar. But I think what's nice about it, because it's solid wood, if ever I change my mind on the colours, I can always sand these back a bit and restain them. But I've just kind of styled the shelves with bits and bobs that I had in the kitchen, a few cookbooks, some chopping boards and some frames and whatnot. Over on this side is what I keep as kind of like our sort of tea and coffee station. So yeah, we've just got our kettle and our tea, coffee and sugar canisters, pretty standard for a UK home, and then our microwave sits there. One thing about this kitchen is the units on this side of the kitchen are actually quite narrow. They're not kind of full-size countertops, they're not full-size cupboards, so they are a bit smaller. They are about the same size as the upper cabinet. So upper cabinets normally are smaller in depth, but our lower ones on this side are as well. And then I've just got our food bin here that I bought from IKEA. We have our bar stools. One of these is definitely ready for the bin now because it is broken. Opposite where the tea and coffee is our little pantry, or it's our under the stairs cupboard, but I turned it into a pantry. I added all of these shelves in myself. I think I have a picture of what this looked like before, but it's a pretty good use of the space, I feel, and it means that I can display all of our kind of like food canisters nicely as well. This light, by the way, I don't know if you remember, it's the one I bought off Temu, and it works really, really well. I maybe have to charge it once a week or so. But it's nice to have that extra light in there, and it is motion detected. Over on this side, we've actually got full-size cabinets. So we've just got our cooker. This is ours, and it's actually the first cooker I ever bought. I think it's DeLonghi. Yeah, it's a DeLonghi cooker. I was really keen in the Range Masters, but it was just a little bit too big in depth, so I went with this one. We've still got our air fryer, and then, yeah, it's just kind of standard. And then we've popped our Hoover up here. I do wish I had somewhere to put the Hoover where it wasn't visible all the time, but we make do. And then I've just got the upper cabinets. Still haven't figured out what to put in the space above the cooker, but I suppose it doesn't really matter now. And then the only other thing on this side is obviously our digital calendar. I'm still absolutely in love with this. And then I've just added in this bit of cable trunking here so it looks kind of more built in, hides the wires and whatnot. Now obviously this is a lived-in house, so please excuse the dishes. This is what the other side of the kitchen looks like. We always keep Avery's trolley here, excuse the bin bag that needs to go out, and we always have dishes either needing to be washed or put away. And then I've just made use of our windowsill here. And then you actually round the corner of the kitchen, and over here is where we keep the fridge and also Avery's little medical trolley. So I say medical trolley, it's like a little pull-out drawer. I think I bought this on Amazon, but it just houses all of Avery's medicines, like her daily medicines, like the kind of surplus of them. So I always keep some in the cupboard, like the ones that we've got open and are currently using, and then these are the backups basically. And this is just a nice little space for that to sit. And then we move into what I suppose is Avery's section of the house. So this is the other doorway, and this is the door that we tend to use because this is where we have space to store Avery's wheelchair. And this is just like a little box space, it's quite small. So all I've done here is hung up these two coat hook thingies just to make this space look a little bit less blank really. I've just got a couple of coffee table books there and our little catch-all bowl, and then a few pictures slash artwork. This was actually made for me. I bought this from House to House. This was made for me as a wedding present from my best friend. And then we move into Avery's room. I don't feel as though I need to go into too much detail about Avery's room because I think I have already done a whole tour of Avery's room and nothing has really changed that much, other than her bedding. Now I did include Avery's bedding in a video, but that was one of the videos where all of my footage got lost. So I've recently changed Avery's bedding. She's now got a full-sized single quilt and just this frilly white bedding, which I think is really, really cute. This little dolly my mum bought for Avery. It says her name on it. It's really, really cute. But yeah, if you're more interested in anything specific in Avery's room, then check back through my older videos. I did do a dedicated video to Avery's room because I felt like it deserved it. So we are now back where we started. This is the stairway, and then right across from the living room is actually our bathroom. Now I was super reluctant to show you guys the bathroom because honestly we hate it. It's obviously a wet room, but the wet room is not fit for purpose for Avery. This is what we've been using. This is the Otter bath seat and the stand that it sits on, and it's just not ideal. It's so big and bulky. We can't close the curtains around it properly when we use it, so water just gets everywhere. And Avery she needs a bath really, guys, but I haven't really done much in this room because I kind of hate it, and if we were going to do anything to it, it would literally just be to kind of rip everything out and start again. But obviously we just have our shower, and I did add those little storage thingies up there. And then the sink, I added in this under sink storage unit just so that we had somewhere to put stuff. And then also this is from Amazon. Actually, this is really, really handy. I'll link it below if I can. But it keeps all of our toothbrushes in there, has space for stuff on top, and then it has this toothpaste dispenser, so it's easy for the boys to use, and then another little storage drawer in there, and then also little magnetic cups. Not that I've ever used those, so that is really handy. And then on the windowsill I just keep this little basket for spare toilet roll. But yeah, not too much to see in the bathroom because yeah, I don't love it. So moving on to the stairway, I have done stuff here. The stairway actually looked atrocious. The walls again were just plaster. This rail here was just normal wood, and the stairs were an absolute mess. Longer term, we probably would have carpeted these stairs, but what I've done is basically just done like a temporary fix on these stairs. So we did give them a sand, although it's not the most perfect of jobs, but it was sanded enough so that it didn't look terrible. I glossed them all white, and then we added these stair treads which were from Amazon. And then the walls are painted in Timeless by Dulux again. And then in terms of what we have put on the walls, just a few nice pictures of the kiddies. And then at the top here, I actually built this. I can't remember if I filmed this or not. I think I did. This was just a normal kind of laundry hamper, and then I kind of customized it. So I added this box at the bottom so we had somewhere to put away our washing basket, and then added a nice kind of top so that I could put things on top of it. So at the minute I just have the candle and this coffee table book, and then I have these 4 square frames. As a matter of fact, I really love the square frames. I think I may actually get rid of most of our picture frames and just use square ones, because I just think they look really nice and uniform. And then I tried to edit these pictures so that the colours were all really similar. I know it's black and white, but the hues were all similar. And then we have the motion detection light above it, like picture light. That again is really, really helpful, especially at night when we're going to the toilet. And then from here you can either go left into our bedroom, or you can go right into the boys' bedroom. So let's go into the boys first. Again, this is another room that was literally just uncarpeted floor and plaster. So a lot of work that I needed to do in this room, but essentially we gave it all a good whitewash, so all the walls are just white. And then I actually added this wallpaper again. I think I may have filmed this when we were moving in, but this is actually peel and stick wallpaper, same as what's in Avery's room. Not the same pattern obviously, but peel and stick. We popped their TV on the wall. This is their new one they had for Christmas, and they just have their big drawers under it. Excuse the mess. Yeah, the boys aren't the tidiest, and to be fair actually they are quite tidy for young boys. Zach has his little weights set up down here. He asked for weights for Christmas, so I donated my yoga mat to him because I never exercise anymore, and I let him use that for his little weights. I don't know if he still uses them, but that's what he asked for Christmas. Up on this wall I've just got these shelves. I wanted something that looked nice but was still functional, so it stores all of their games and all of Zach's Wimpy Kid books. He's got quite the collection going on now. And then they have this short wardrobe. One thing I've hated about this house is the sloped ceilings in the bedroom. I think you lose so much space because of them, and I've had to just work around it. So they've got a short wardrobe. This is Eli's storage unit he uses for all of his Lego, and then they've got their bunk beds with the additional pull-out trundle down there for Marley. And then the thing is with the boys' room is we also lose a lot of space in storage cupboards. So we have the boiler cupboard in there, and then we've also got 2 more cupboards. We have this little hatch down here which kind of runs along the side of the house, and then we have another over the stairs cupboard there. So we lose a lot of space because of the cupboard doors as well, so that's a bit annoying. But I feel like, considering we have 3 boys a lot of the time sleeping in this room, we've done quite a bit with the space. And then obviously the carpet we had fitted, we just chose a dark carpet for the boys. We thought that would be the safest. And then moving into our bedroom, it is obviously a little bit of a mess because we are hoarding baby items, which is what you can see down over there. But our bed is just the same bed we brought over from the last house, and the room itself was kind of just bare plaster and the wooden floor. We've added this carpet. I love this carpet, it's really nice and thick. In all honesty though, when I was going for carpets, I wasn't really going for thickness on any of them. I was just trying to find the right colours, and I really like the colour of this one. It's like almost a neutral slash cool toned beige. It's not too kind of yellowy warm, and it's also not too grey. I really like it. And then the walls again are natural Hessian by Dulux, but like with the boys' room, we are battling the sloped ceiling in this room, which means we lose a lot of space. Like I said, we have the bed. The bed itself hasn't changed. The bedside tables are new. I actually purchased these because, sorry, there's people walking past talking. I have the windows open because it's actually really warm today. The bedside tables I bought because obviously baby coming into this room, I wanted to kind of maximize vertical space where I could to make a bit more storage. So I went with these 5 drawers. These are from Wayfair, and I actually love the colour of them. They're almost like, they're like washed, but they're kind of almost washed in a grey, so it knocks out the kind of warm tones from them, but without them being too cool. Like, they don't look grey, they just look like a cool toned brown. So I'm actually considering having more furniture this colour in our bedroom. I have the same PAX wardrobe up here that we had in the old house, and then moving it over onto this side. Honestly, this bedroom is such an awkward shape, it was really quite difficult to make things work. So we've got the chimney breast here, which is always awkward to work around, but we've just popped the TV on it. And then you guys might remember a few weeks back I DIY'd myself a custom bookshelf so that it would fit perfectly underneath the TV, and it works really, really well. And then in this little ducket here, I've just popped our large drawers for more storage. So yeah, certainly not where I wanted it to be, but honestly having sloped ceilings really limits me in terms of my kind of designs and planning and what I actually wanted to do. I would love one day to have some green in my bedroom, either like a sage green or maybe like a deep sort of earthy mossy kind of green. One or the other. I do really love those colours, but yeah, for now this is what we're working with. It works fine, it's nice and cozy, and yeah, just a little bit messy at the moment because of all of the baby things that we're hoarding. So that is essentially the house and everything that we have done with it since we moved in. In all honesty, in terms of decorating, there's not a whole lot that's been done in the last few months, I think, because we've just got it to a stage where it's fine. But one day I'd like to just go ham and just paneling in every room and colour. Okay, that's a bit extravagant, not colour, but you know, more greens. I like greens and I like neutrals and I like earthy tones. I just think they're really calming and cozy. My style is definitely changing. I'm guessing kind of as trends are changing as well, and I guess that's not to say that, you know, my style is changing because there's new trends. It's more to do with the fact that I'm seeing things and I realise how much I love them. Like the greens, for example. Green is so on trend at the moment, and I never thought I was a green person, but now that I see it in people's houses, like, I just think it looks so just nice. The same with the kind of wood. I think it's kind of gone full circle. It used to be where sort of pine and wood kind of furniture was all the rage, and then it was either kind of like blacks or white. I mean, to be honest, most of the time my furniture has been black or white, and now it's kind of coming back round where woods are really becoming popular again, but more of that sort of white slash grey washed wood. So more of a cooler toned wood, and oak as well, like more of a cooler toned oak. And I really love that style too. And I don't know, I kind of just feel as though, yeah, my style is shifting. I am happy with kind of the colour scheme and everything in the house, but I do think I am limited here just because of the shapes of the rooms and the kind of sloped ceilings and stuff. Like this room, I don't think panelling would work so well just because of the sloped ceiling. But yeah, I'm rambling. Really, the purpose of this video is to show you kind of where we started and where we've gotten to. And it was all done on a budget too. I think the biggest expense, aside from like huge appliances like the cooker, was the carpets. I think the carpets for all 3 bedrooms, Avery's room, the boys' room, and this room, cost us around the £600 to £700 mark, and that included fitting. So carpets aren't cheap. The laminate was definitely cheaper, but that was just for one room. But then we did end up paying to have it fitted as well. So yeah, the floors were the biggest expenses, and everything else really was just paint and yeah, just little DIY projects here and there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the house tour. I'm not gonna lie, I am very much looking forward to having bedrooms that don't have sloped ceilings in the next house, so that I have more options. And I'm also just really looking forward to being able to express this new style that I have in my head in a new home, This house has definitely been helpful in terms of like practicing with different things that I've not used before, like the wood, and having this house and decorating this house and doing all my little DIY projects has definitely taught me a few things about what I would and wouldn't like to do in the next one. So I am looking forward to this next chapter. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and with that said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.